Sunday was the official change of command between Colonel Gillis and Colonel Newell. There were tears, there were cheers, and there were backslaps. I think one of the things I enjoy most about these events is listening to what each party has to say, both offgoing and oncoming. There were some audible restraints during the ceremony, affecting primarily the ranks in the back of the formation. No one's fault, per se, but if fault were casted, we wouldn't name names. It rhymes with PA. Colonel Gillis had an empowering and encouraging message for the masses, and I want to play that message for you today. So everyone, here he is, Colonel Gillis.
Good afternoon, fellow MAINEiacs. I'll ask you to bear with me here. As a second-generation, 35-year MAINEiac, this is a significant emotional event for me. The past 2 years in command have really been a blur. In my 10 years as your commander, we emerged from COVID in the middle of one of the largest deployment cycles in decades. We had over 33% of the wing engaged at home and abroad, supporting the state as well as multiple AORs across the world. Upon their return, we pivoted to great power competition, preparing for engagement with our peer adversaries. Words like ACE or Agile Combat Employment became common as we looked at training to win tomorrow's fight. Northcom encouraged us to look at our ability to operate above the Arctic Circle. We got after the training and looked for opportunities to operate in the high north. The team that deployed to Norway for Arctic Challenge last year rocked it so well that we were invited back this spring to run the air refueling operation for the exercise again. We looked at our ability to execute our nuclear deterrence mission in preparation for the NORI. Our youngest generation of MAINEiacs trained, learned lessons, and were tested over the past year. You are ready for this no-fail mission like no other. From all of this, I've learned that our airmen are the MAINEiac magic. You are what makes us a world-renowned organization. And why? Because you're not afraid to stretch your comfort zone. You adapt and learn. A wise instructor pilot once told me that you will never live long enough to make all the mistakes. You debrief, learn, and support each other. MAINEiacs are also not content with good enough. You take pride in what you do. You are professionals and are driven to excel. And this could not have been any clearer to me than in the outbrief for our NORI. What the observers, our WIT, and the AMC team noted is that you are one team, highly knowledgeable in your fields, working as one with a level of intensity and dedication and attention to detail that makes the hard things look easy. And you do all that with a smile and a level of enthusiasm that shows you are proud to be a MAINEiac. And right then, I realized that given a short amount of time to spin up, the MAINEiacs would completely crush any mission they were given. Now, a word about excellence, family, commitment. Our state motto is Dare Go, or I direct, I lead. MAINEiacs certainly lead the way. I would like to share just a few of some of the very awkward, if not humbling moments that I've had over the last 2 years. I was at a NORAD air defense conference, minding my own business, getting coffee on a break, when an F-16 wing commander comes up to me and says, "You're a MAINEiac. I was deployed with some of your folks." Not knowing what was coming next, I kind of braced for some sort of bad story. Instead, they were incredible. They went above and beyond to make the deployment smooth. Your folks rock. I stammered out "You're welcome," instantly feeling a little dumb for saying that, as I had nothing to do with it. That was all you. You and our MAINEiac legacy did that. After briefing at Rally last spring, the commander of TACC shook my hand and gave me her coin. Not for the stellar brief that I had just delivered, but because a couple of our crews had gone above and beyond while out in the system working for TACC. She said, "We can always count on the MAINEiacs to deliver." This time I was better prepared with a "Thanks, ma'am. We've got a great team up there in Maine." Last month I attended my final rally as a wing commander. I've had the great fortune to be a wing commander under General Minahan. He has asked us to get after the craft of being a professional warrior. His mantra is that those that fly, fix, or support must be ready to unleash unrepentant lethality on our nation's enemies. Strategic Air Command was shutting down as I came into the tanker, but I remember seeing the changes in the way we operated as we moved into AMC. Being a SAC warrior was about mission and lethality, and as I listened at rally, I couldn't help but think that the ways of SAC were coming back, and that made me smile just a little. I wanted to shake General Manhan's hand and thank him for his leadership. How often do you get to do that, shake the hand of a 4-star? You should know that General Manhan believes that his wing commanders are where the action happens, and he's always willing to speak to them. As we wrapped up our conversation, he stopped and pointed at my MAINEiac patch and said, "You know, you are a world-class organization. The MAINEiacs are world-renowned, and you should be proud of that." This time I had it. I said, "It's not me, sir. It's the team I'm surrounded with. The MAINEiacs are the magic that makes it happen." So for all the times that I have been thanked for the awesome things that you do, the MAINEiacs do, and accomplish day in and day out, let me say I couldn't be prouder of what you all do. Thank you for making this the best job of my career. To my family, the past 4 years in the command suite has been a challenge. There were times when we all thought, is there enough gas left in the tank to make it to the finish? Well, here we are. I can never thank you enough for all the understanding and support you've provided me. You are what enable me to support all of them. And now a word about your new boss. You are in good hands. And how do I know that? Because in the past week, I have mumbled under my breath at least a dozen times, "Gosh darn it, I'm embarrassed that I didn't think of that." Or, "Well, he's taking that to the next level. Wished I'd come up with that." Byron, I'm truly excited to see how you enable the MAINEiacs to achieve even greater success. And 2 last things I would like to remind you of. To our retirees and veterans, you are part of the 7% of Americans that stepped up to support and defend the Constitution of the United States. MAINEiacs and other current service members, you represent the 0.4% of Americans today who are actively serving your country. And for that, you are special. Thank you. Over the past 35 years, it has been my distinct pleasure to serve with the men and women of the 101st Air Refueling Wing, one of the finest air refueling wings in the United States Air Force. I am truly honored to have been a part of this organization, this family. Thank you all for letting me be a part of it.
Thanks again for everything you've done for the MAINEiacs, Colonel. Your leadership and devotion to the unit, community, state, and country will be emulated for years to come. We'll get Colonel Newell on the podcast soon, talk about what he sees in our future, maybe talk about the Kansas City Chiefs. Veterans Day is this weekend. Here comes your plug, Dom. Be safe, everybody, please. Thank you to everybody who has served and came before. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Out here.